Yes, I did shave my head. It had to be done, and Hannah Jane made it a little bit shorter than I might have liked, but here we are. So enjoy. And one more thing, I was down by the river today, and I was kicking a ball around, and I actually put my back out. You wouldn't believe it. So I'm a little bit sore in the back. So I thought I'd do a sequence that was actually really nice for just extending and lengthening into the spine, and opening up all of the over all these postural erector muscles in the back, which selfishly is what I need to do anyway. So I'll stop harping on, and we'll get down on the mat, guys. So let's start off in a kneeling position. So we're going to be not reclining, but down in balasana, or a balasana variation. And melting yourself down over the heels here. Oh God, that already feels so nice for me. We're going to take a deep breath in. And we're going to exhale, let the ribs melt down over the thighs, keeping the knees relatively close in, not spreading them out wide just yet, and letting the elbows rest down. And we're just going to find our breath here in our balasana. Now, you can have hands together, so you can rest the forehead or the crown of the head on the hands, and that's fine as well. And we're going to start off by just breathing into the back of the body. And I really like to notice the pressure as my ribs press down into the backs of the thighs. And we're going to exhale, and as you exhale, let the pelvis tip forward. You can shift yourself around a little bit, maybe from side to side. Now, if this is unbearable, you can have a block under or in between your heels and your hips. And once again, we're rocking from side to side. And we're just breathing up and down the spine here. And let's visualize this happening. Let's visualize as we breathe in, the air running up the spine. And then as we exhale, we'll visualize the air running down to the tailbone. We're kind of anchoring in, and then as we inhale, the inhale is really symbolic for expansion. So as we inhale, we feel the crown lengthen away from the tailbone here. And then as we exhale, we're melting in even further. Inhale and exhale. 3 more. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale and exhaling. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Then we're going to activate the arms a little bit. So we're going to extend the arms away from the body. Press down through the palms here. Tuck the tailbone under. And just let the shoulder blades separate. If you need to walk the hands back a little bit, that's fine. And we're arching the back, taking a deep breath into the back of the body. And then exhale, melting down, bend the elbows. And this is a really cool movement. We're going to inhale and bring the chest forward as I draw back on the hands. It's like a little mini chaturanga almost. Now I'm exhaling, and I'm inhale, pressing away, arching the back. Inhale, looping the shoulders back and pressing the chest forward. Exhale. Inhale. And we're going to exhale. We're going to hold for an extra breath here, arching the back. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Coming back up to a neutral position. Well, not so much a neutral position, but an upright position here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll the shoulders back and press the chest towards the ceiling. But I'm not dipping into the lower back too much. I'm keeping the chest above the hips here. Then I'm exhale, arching. Then I'm inhale, lifting. And I'm exhale arching, and instinctively, intuitively, my arms come out in front as a counterbalance, and that's fine. And you can do this cross-legged, or once again, you can be sitting up on something. And then inhaling and exhaling. 2 more inhale. Exhale. 1 more inhaling and exhaling. Now, coming forward, I'm just going to come up onto hands and knees here and extend this right leg just to open back up over those knees that took a little bit of pressure there. Deep breath in and a long exhale. Remember, we're looking for length, so I'm pressing through that heel and pressing out over the back of the neck, through the crown of the head. Coming back down onto the right knee here, extending the left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, coming back down with the left knee. Now, this is a really, really nice movement. What I'm going to do actually is I'll come around so I can face you guys. So we'll start off at our knees, and you can have the knees a little bit wider for this one. And what I'm going to do is so you can see what's happening. Now, it might be easier for you to see if I do it like this. So I'm going to reach out in front. I'm keeping the left hand next to the left hip here. So that left hand sort of next to the left hip, yeah. And I'm going to reach my right arm over to the left-hand side of the mat. So doing this sort of child's pose variation. But what I'm going to do from here is I'm actually going to inhale, I'm going to bend the elbow, and I'm going to reach all the way up. And then I'm going to come down, place this right hand next to the right hip, tip myself forward, reach the left hand all the way out in front. Bring that left hand around, bend the elbow and come all the way up. Opening up and then coming back down. Inhale, reaching forward. Now, if there's any sort of mobility problems in the shoulder, you'll just slide the hand back and lift the shoulder and place that right hand back down. So I'll do that again without the arm extension. Coming forward, wrapping all the way around. That's it. Now I would just bring the hand up, lift the shoulder, open the chest, and place that left hand back down. So let's do one more on each side. Inhale. This big opening. And then exhale. Inhale. Supporting myself with this right arm. Big opening, and then exhale, coming forward and all the way back around. Now we're going to slide both hands forward, come back up onto hands and knees, roll the shoulders back, press the chest forward. Exhale, arch. Inhale, press the chest forward, cat-cows here. Exhale, arching. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2 more, inhale. Because we're aiming to create length in the spine here, I'm not really dipping into the lower back at all. I'm more using this posture as an exhale, lengthening out over my erector muscles there. 1 more, inhale. Exhale. Now, coming back into a neutral position, I'm going to wing the left foot out and extend the right leg. Now, rolling over onto the right arch here, I'm going to press through the heel of the right foot. Now, I'm not having this left arm out too far. I want to be stacking here. And I'm going to press through this right heel, and I'm just going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. I'm going to lift my chest, and you can have your hand on the ground if you like. You can have your hand on your hip also. And I'm just lengthening all the way up this side. I'm just going to practice this little transition. So I'm taking a deep breath in, putting the right hand back down on the mat, bring the right knee back down, and extend the left leg. Inhale, press into the left heel, extending through the crown of the head. Exhale. Inhale. Big opening out over the front of the body, big opening out over the side body here. I'm not collapsing at all. I'm definitely pressing this left hip forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now I'm holding for a couple of breaths. And we're not doing anything too crazy. We're not flaring up too much energy. All I'm doing is stacking up here. There's a soft bend in the elbow. I'm not bringing this knee back or anything like that. But we do have the option here to bring hand to hip. You can run your arm along the length of that right leg, which is quite nice and opening, or we can go into the full expression where we would reach all the way up overhead, press through the fingertips, press through the heel, and really extend, but keeping the chest bright. I'm going to take a couple of breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more. Extending all the way out over the side of the body. Might flip the palm up. I'm going to try to just sort of transition through into the left side as gracefully as possible. Once again, it doesn't have to be graceful. And let's set ourselves up for some options here. Left arm might be by the side of the body. Left hand might be on left hip. Or we might be taking the full expression, but we're not compromising the lower back at all. We're expanding all the way up. Imagine the crown of your head is sort of pointing in the same direction as your fingertips, so we're not collapsing too much. Press through the left heel. Let's take a couple of breaths here. I'm going to take 3 breaths. Keep that exhale long and that inhale deep, or broadening with that inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Flipping this left palm over, reaching all the way back up. Unless your hand's by the side, then we're just going to slide it back down. Sink back down over the heels here. Bring the left elbow in towards the left knee, and then I'm just going to extend the right arm out towards the left-hand corner of the mat. And I'm just going to rock my weight over into the right hip here to really increase that lovely opening. So I'm trying to extend my spine here without putting any pressure into the lower back at all. So this sequence is aimed at sore backs, basically, sore lower backs. I guess I'm getting old. We'll take 3 to 5 breaths. Take your time here. Let yourself melt in. Find a version of the posture that is sustainable. We'll take one more deep breath in and a long exhale. Let's slide that right hand back. Extend the left leg. Extend the left leg. Extend the left arm. Now I like to place my forehead down on the back of the hand there, but the options are yours. Left hand's reaching towards right hand corner of the mat. 3 to 5 breaths. And breathing deeply, not getting too fired up in the breath here, just looking for the length. We're breathing calming breaths, so we're lengthening the exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Let's come back to a neutral position now. So I'm just going to slide this left hand back. Come up onto hands and knees here. And without putting too much effort in, I'm just going to bring my right knee forward. And all I'm doing from here is gently lowering my ribs down over that right leg and gently rocking forward and back. So what this is doing is it's opening all of this area up along the lower back here, giving me a little bit of release in the hamstring too, and the hip, which can be quite often what actually aggravates the lower back in the first place. So I'm using my in-breath to come forward. But once again, breath synchronization. We're not vinyasaing. We're not too worried about syncing the breath. Inhale. And it's not so much about the hamstring opening, it's more about the lower back lengthening. So for that reason, I'm just going to bring my hands back, or you can have your hands out in front. And I'm just going to let myself melt down here. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhale. Feel your whole spine just sort of tipping down over that right leg. Like you're just cascading away from your hips. One more breath. Inhale. And exhaling. I'm going to come forward and slide this right foot back. Bring the left knee forward. And once again, not too ambitious, just rocking forward and back. Give yourself plenty of time to shift around. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. Now, once again, I'm not counting, I almost never am, but I'm going to hold here for a couple of breaths. Finding somewhere comfortable for your arms. Deep breath in, and a long exhale. And you can breathe at your own speed, I won't cue the breaths. Just give yourself a few moments. We'll take one deep breath in and a long exhale. Slide the hands forward. We're going to come back into hands and knees. Now what I'm going to do is tuck the toes. Bring the knees out a little bit wider than the hips. And then lift up into downward dog. And because we're being very cautious of lower back pain, I've got my legs out a little bit wider than my hips. And that's a nice tip, especially for us guys that tend to be stiff in the hips. Now this is just a transitional posture, so I'm taking a deep breath in and then I am just walking towards the wrists and probably walking the hands back towards the feet. Now I could have a block here and bending into one knee and extending into the opposite leg. So there's this nice deep bend in my left knee. Not locking into this right leg, but I definitely am extending up through the hip, creating this beautiful length all the way up. And take your time here. There's no rush, and there's no amount of movement that's good for you, so it's not about how many repetitions of things we do, especially in these evening slow flow classes. If you want to hang around and sort of baste yourself in a posture, stay there. Take a few breaths, that's fine. If the movement's necessary, if moving in and out of the posture is working, play with that as well. There's no rules. Very nice. Now from here, I'm just going to move this block out of the way. You might put it on the right hand side of your mat, because from here I'm going to walk this left foot forward and step this right foot back. And I'm coming into a wide-legged forward fold. But, once again, it's a low energy, restorative version of this posture. So I'm just finding my feet here. If you need to heel the toes out a little bit, wing the toes out a bit, that's fine. And all I'm doing is just walking my hands over to the left-hand foot. There might be a bit of a bend in that left-hand foot, over to the left foot. There might be a bit of a bend in that left knee. And I'm going to use the inhale to come over to the right-hand foot, whatever that means. And let's come back over. You might reach out over that right arm. bring the ribs into contact, left ribs into left thigh here. Right ribs melting into right thigh as I reach out over the left arm. One more on each side. Perfect. And then we're just going to slide back and find our neutral position here and just gently rock from side to side. If you need to have your hands on a block, that's cool. You can stabilize yourself like so. Try to keep the back of the neck long. Three to 5 breaths here. And I won't cue the breaths, I'll let you move at your own speed. And then we'll take a deep breath in, bending the knees a lot. Now what's going to happen from here, and this can get a bit tricky, so make sure your block is nearby. So I'm walking the feet in, heel toe, sort of crab walking in. My feet are out on a 45-degree angle. They're not out too far. They're not in too close. And I'm going to sit myself down into my Malasana squat here. Now, you can sit on your block here, and that's totally cool. You can try sort of placing yourself down on different levels, and that's fine as well. But either way, we're just looking for a sort of a sustainable posture here. So we don't want to create tension in the knees. We don't want the knees falling inwards. So there's a little bit of pressure through the backs of my arms here. And I'm just gently pressing down into the mat with the palms. I'm letting my hips sink down. And it's nice to just rock the weight from side to side. If that's working for you, you can bring hands to heart center and lift the chest a little bit if you like. You can lift all 10 toes if you like. We're starting to get a little bit more energetic with it now. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down. Walk the knees forward. And we're going to come back down onto our mats now. That's pretty much it. We're going to walk the knees forward. We're going to kick the legs out to the side. We're going to make our way down into a reclining position. Sink back down over the heels here. Let's extend the left leg. Let's bring the right knee in. Press through the heel of the left leg. Tuck the chin, extend the back of the right. Extend the back of the neck. Gently rock from side to side here. Just for a few breaths. And then we'll release that right leg. Bring the left knee in. Rocking from side to side. Press through the right heel, get as long as you can. Now, as you exhale, bring the right knee back in. Bring both knees in towards the body, rocking from side to side here. Keeping the knees in towards the ribs, maximizing that length in the lower back, massaging out over the spine. Let's take a deep breath in here. And then release the hands, extend the legs. Come back to a neutral, come back to a reclining position. I have no words tonight. Find your Savasana. closing your eyes. And imagine yourself as weightless. Let go of all sensation of gravity. Visualize yourself floating. Visualize yourself lifting away from the mat. And as you lift away from the mat, visualize yourself lengthening from the crown of the head to the heels, to the toes even. Imagine you're gently being drawn in both directions, up through the crown of the head, down through the thighs to the heels and toes. From your navel, you're lengthening out. And still in that sensation of weightlessness now. And letting all effort go. Nothing left to do. Just complete relaxation. Take a deep breath in now. Press through the heels. Reach the hands up overhead. Press through the right heel. Press through the right fingertips. Lengthen yourself out along that whole lateral side body there, and then lengthen yourself out along the left heel, left fingertips. Shift between the two. And then gently bring yourself back up into a seated cross-legged position here. And we're going to start to finish our practices off with a couple of minutes of meditation, guys. So find yourself somewhere comfortable. If that means propping yourself up on a block, or sitting yourself on a cushion, or sitting yourself in a chair, that's fine. Feel your shoulders melt away from your ears, but also take a deep breath in and breathe the energy up your spine so you feel that length. Then as you exhale, let the calm fall down over the front of your body. And we're going to practice that visualization technique. So for 10 breaths, let's just inhale and breathe up the spine. Then exhale like a wave, it melts down. The stillness melts down over the front of your body. Inhale. And exhale. Like you're drawing energy out of the ground, out of your tailbone, lifting up. Then it just sort of fountains out off the top of out through the crown of your head and then down over the front of your body, cleansing you, stilling the mind, relaxing the body. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. And breath out. Breath in. And breath out. We'll do one more. As we inhale, we'll reach up. And exhale, bring hands down to heart center, gently opening the eyes. Taking a deep breath in. Namaste.